You told yourself 5 minutes. That was an hour ago. And somewhere between the funny videos, the life updates, and the content you didn't even ask for, something quietly slipped away. You just don't know what yet. Here's what I want you to understand. This isn't a willpower problem. What you're experiencing when you can't put your phone down isn't weakness. It's neuroscience working exactly as designed. Every swipe activates the same dopaminergic reward pathway that gambling does. Psychologist B.F. Skinner called it variable ratio reinforcement, the most addictive reward schedule known to behavioral science. Sometimes you scroll and find something amazing. Most of the time you don't. But that unpredictability is precisely what keeps you coming back. Your brain isn't failing you. It's doing exactly what it was trained to do. The apps you use were built by some of the smartest behavioral engineers alive. They studied what makes humans feel seen, surprised, and validated, and then engineered entire systems around those triggers. You were never just browsing. You were being guided, and it's costing you more than time. Psychologist Daniel Levitin describes something called attention residue. Every time your focus gets interrupted, your cognitive performance drops significantly, even after you've stopped scrolling. You don't just lose the 5 minutes on your phone, you lose the next 20 minutes of real thinking too. Multiply that across a single day, and you start to understand why you feel mentally drained by evening without having done much at all. Then there's what psychologists Roy Baumeister and Diane Tice identified as ego depletion, the idea that self-control runs on a limited resource, like a battery. Every time you resist picking up your phone and eventually cave, you're draining that battery. Which means the more you scroll early in the day, the less mental discipline you have for the things that actually matter: your work, your relationships, your goals. You're not lazy, you're depleted. And your phone did it. But here's the part that hits even deeper. Leon Festinger's social comparison theory tells us that humans instinctively measure themselves against others. Social media was built to weaponize that instinct. You're not just scrolling, you're running an endless audit of your life against someone else's highlight reel. And over time, that quietly hollows out your sense of self in ways most people never trace back to your phone. Think about the last time you sat with silence. No phone, no background noise, just you and your thoughts. For most people, that feels genuinely uncomfortable now. That discomfort is the real cost nobody talks about, because you are slowly losing the ability to be alone with yourself. And that matters more than any productivity stat, because every goal you want to reach, every version of yourself you keep promising to become, lives in that quiet space you keep escaping from. The conversations you half listened to, the books you meant to read, the energy you had for your own life until it got spent on someone else's content. You don't have to delete everything, but start noticing. Notice the moment you reach for your phone out of habit versus genuine choice. That tiny gap, that fraction of a second of awareness, is where you get your power back. Because the future you keep imagining doesn't get built on a feed. It gets built in the moments you chose to stay present instead. If this gave you something to think about, follow for more on how psychology shapes the behaviors we think are just who we are.